The Aftermath stars Keira Knightley, Alexander Skarsgård and Jason Clarke, and it tells the story of a British officer and his wife who come to live in a large house in Hamburg just after the end of the Second World War, and while the city is still in ruins after being bombed. They're sharing the house with the former owners, a German man and his daughter, and the British officer's wife, played by Keira Knightley, begins to have an affair with the German father, played by Alexander Skarsgård. So you have post-World War II tension, a British couple who have lost a son, a German family who have lost a mother, both to different aerial bombing events, and now they're all going to live together under the same roof. Now I'll be honest, that is a great setup, and it's exactly how you set the stage for some compelling drama. This is not the sort of film I would usually look forward to. I didn't know a lot about it, but I do like these actors who are starring in it, so I thought I would check it out. Keira Knightley stars in her 147th period drama, and somehow she just does not ever age. I really liked Alexander Skarsgård as Tarzan and in the film War on Everyone. And Jason Clarke, who I just really like for some reason. I mean, he is a great actor, but I think he just has a great look and screen presence. This is going to be a spoiler-filled review, so I'm going to give my overall opinion up front. I really liked the film overall, but I was very frustrated most of the way through it. And I was completely ready to write it off as a bad job, and then the ending came and completely changed everything for me, and the way I looked at everything in the film that came before. Everything now made sense. It turned out my frustration was justified, and I would definitely recommend the film. So when Keira Knightley shows up at this house, she's really not happy that she's going to have to share it, and she's very prejudiced and distrustful of the German family who she now has to share this house with. And her relationship with her husband, who's played by Jason Clarke, is a wee bit strained, and she doesn't like that he has to work all the time, and she's actually the closest thing we have to a main character. And although she is very sympathetic, and a lot of that has to do with Keira Knightley's performance, I just kept thinking, what a bitch. And I might not have thought that if not for the fact that Jason Clarke's character is pretty much like the nicest guy ever in this. He's a gentleman to his wife, and he's sympathetic and trusting and friendly to this German family. He's trying to help the people of Hamburg rebuild their lives, and he's really contrasted against all the other characters who hate and distrust the Germans. Like, there are scenes where she's unhappy because he has to leave during dinner and he hasn't been around very much because of his job. But he's a British soldier who's fighting the Nazis, and he was ordered to do it. Give the guy a break. That's why it's so difficult to sympathise with Keira Knightley's character. It's like, I get that you're horny, but there's a lot more important shit happening right now. So when she begins having an affair, I just feel really bad for Jason Clarke. And I kind of start to hate Alexander Skarsgård and Keira Knightley because they're just betraying this pretty decent guy. I mean, he lets the guy stay in his house even though he didn't have to, and saved them from having to go to a refugee camp. And he's trying to have him cleared of being a Nazi sympathiser. And what does this guy do in return? He starts boning his wife. And Skarsgård's daughter acts like an idiot teenage girl and starts accidentally helping this Hitler-loving fanatic who has these plans to kill Clarke. I mean, it would be completely different if Jason Clarke was an asshole in this, but he's not. And once the actual affair between these two people gets going, it just seems to go far too quickly. The first sex scene happened far too soon, which dissolved any tension. And when the husband leaves for a few days and Knightley and Skarsgård and the daughter start acting like a happy wee family, I still don't believe that they're actually in love. I mean, it definitely didn't feel like love, and it only barely felt like it was lust. Eventually he asks her to run away with them, and she agrees, and I just kept thinking, oh come on guys, you don't love each other. And the whole time this is happening, I'm just thinking, this is poorly acted, this is poorly written, this is badly paced. It's a storytelling problem. After she tells her husband that she's leaving him and she heads off with Skarsgård, it really feels like the end of The Graduate, where they don't really know each other, but now they're running off together, and then they sit in the back of the bus and they kind of realise, hey, we made a huge mistake, but it's too late to do anything about it now, we gotta live with our mistake. I mean, it kind of felt like that, but I didn't think that it was going to end that way. I thought that the film was going to end still trying to convince us, the audience, that these two characters actually love each other. So they go off together, and Clarke finally breaks down over the loss of his son and now his wife. And the film could have probably naturally just ended right there. It would have been a solid C-grade movie and I probably would have just forgot about it. But then she's about to get on the train and she stops and she realises she doesn't love this guy and he doesn't love her. They just both needed someone to be close to so they could deal with their losses. She leaves him there and goes back to Clarke, and he sees her coming to him from the distance. He runs to her, they embrace. It's perfect. Everything I thought was wrong with the film, I was supposed to think that. It was supposed to feel like the love was just a wee bit off. Like, these two characters, really? I don't really buy this. And It just seems like that's what the filmmakers just intended me to think. And I was supposed to be rooting for Clarke this whole time, and I was. I mean, I know I'm probably going too far, and I'm probably overthinking it and overestimating the effect that the filmmakers actually intended to have on me. But in my opinion, the ending just changes the film from a C to an A. The final moment is her going back to her husband, and it doesn't feel like she's doing it out of obligation. It feels like she does actually love him. And I felt so sorry for him, and then he gets the girl in the end, but it's his wife, so it's kind of sweet. In my opinion, it's a movie romance done right. And I never thought I'd say this because I hate love triangles in films, but this does that right as well. The whole thing was the characters working through their losses in a really unhealthy way, but they came out the other end in a better place, and now they can move on and be happy. It's a happy ending, which I really didn't expect given the setting and the tone of everything that came before. It's also really well made and it looks very nice, and a lot of the costumes, especially the ones worn by Keira Knightley, look stunning. The snowy landscape lends itself to a lot of good scenes, but sometimes it looks really fake, especially in the very opening scene. It looked like CGI snow. Wasn't great, but it's fine. The writing and the direction really come together to make this work. And the director has the kind of restraint to make it seem like the whirlwind romance that you would come across in lesser romance films. And the direction was able to frustrate me because it all just seemed a bit wrong. But the actors actually do a fantastic job, because although I didn't like what many of them were doing, pretty much what everyone was doing except Clarke's character, I didn't hate them. They're still very sympathetic because they're very broken people, and all the actors are given their time to shine and their moments that really let the audience relate to them. And Jason Clarke is just so critical of this film because I just felt so bad for him, and he keeps getting shit on, and he just keeps kind of letting it happen. He's not a pushover or anything, but he's not a dick. He's just always trying to do the right thing, and nothing's coming back his way. And it's just really well acted and really well written. And like I said, I give The Aftermath an A. This is a drama, so don't expect any murders or fistfights or shootouts. There are some deaths and some guns are fired, but it's mostly background stuff to keep the setting clear in our minds. It's a romance film that satisfied me a lot more than most others, and I honestly can't really remember the last time that a film won me over so late in the runtime. Maybe The Dark Knight Rises? But this was seriously like a minute from the end, and I'm pretty sure that I will watch this film again at some point. Thank you very much for watching my review. Please do like and subscribe, and comment down below and let me know if you've seen The Aftermath, what you thought of it, and if you agree or disagree with any of the points I've made, or if you have any points of your own. And let me know, what's your favourite romantic film that focuses on a couple who are already husband and wife? I'll be back soon with more reviews, and I will see you then.